Good evening, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty, and yes, it's an evening one, because there's a few things I want to review this week. I'm hoping Saturday is going to be a really busy day for me in the store, and I don't want to close up unless I absolutely have to. So I figure I'm working late tonight anyway, because I've got playing later on. So I figure, why not throw an extra bonus review out, and that review is Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. Specifically, I have to say the Kate Bishop thing is in the title, even though right now I think I'm just, in my head, she is Hawkeye, and Clint Barton is Hawkeye. It's been that way since I read the Fraction run. And it's worth pointing out that with this one dropping officially in America last week, in the UK officially out tomorrow, there's probably a lot of people who are thinking, oh, the Hawkeye TV show and a Hawkeye comic book, is this worth checking out? Maybe why they've turned up and clicked a link to watch this video. And straight away, unfortunately, I have to say, go and read Fraction's run instead, or Fraction and Io's run. Asia. I've never met the person. I don't know how it's pronounced. But theirs is like the definitive run on what's led to this TV series. So much stuff started in that run, which is now part of the universe and part of what they're dealing with in the TV series, and it's great. It is just brilliant. That is not to say that it's not worth reading this one. It is worth reading, but it has some caveats. Straight off, I've got to say the artwork is not the best I've seen. When I was reviewing Chariot a long time ago, I did say I thought the use of the motion lines for the fight scenes was a sign of an artist who wasn't confident enough in their ability. And it turns out I was right. To get to the end of that series, they stopped using motion lines. They just embraced what they could do, and it looked absolutely brilliant as a result of it. Kind of the other way around on this one. Really good artist. There's some great stills, some great open shots, great wide shots. But sometimes in the closeness, in the combat, when things are moving quickly and there's interesting angles and lines of sight, it gets a little bit muddy, unfortunately. Not in a particularly terrible way. I can't really talk about like how, oh man, horrible stuff. But very early on, you get a scene where this guy, I'm assuming, is walking into frame, but appears to be coming through what could be a glass window at that point. If you look at the angle of the floor where she's crouched down, he's clearly standing there, but his other leg is just at this real weird angle. Who walks like that? That is odd. There's a few, and not a lot, but there's a few moments like that in the fight scene that comes up. And it does make it a little bit muddy. As I say, she's not the end of the world. There's a great moment where she's doing a hands-free cartwheel, so she's upside down, still loosing an arrow, which is brilliant. But something that's still happening in that panel, just the framing of it and the perspective of it, just drags you out a little bit, because you find your eye having to work harder than it should do to drag details out of it and see exactly what's going on. But then, at the end of the fight scene, once it's all wrapped up, you get this excellent still shot, basically everything that's happened after the event, and it looks fantastic. It doesn't need any action in that sequence. It's literally just, this is what has already gone on. You're now seeing the after effect of it, and it's done with absolute confidence, and I really, really like that page. The writing is actually the strength of this thing. And it's good because of the voice it's given Kate. There's always that, like, playing a female character, a female version of a male character, should I say. There's always that line of like, well, do we have her being overtly feminine, overtly masculine? Do we draw the line right down the middle and don't let her exhibit either side of things? Because do you want her to push against the idea that she's a female character who used to be a guy, or do you want her to embrace the fact that she's a female character? Or again, do you just ignore all that and hope the treading the middle ground will be enough? In this one, they actually just concentrate on the fact that she is just a little bit younger more than anything else. She speaks quickly. She responds sharply and wittily. There's an awful lot of conversation which happens when it's various instant messaging, which is great because they get interrupted, which is a very nice little accurate bit of how a conversation like that will work. You're in the middle of a conversation with like a group chat with 3 friends, but then somebody who's not part of the group chat sends you a message. You have to reply to that one. And it looks like a messy conversation, but you guarantee it's up to you. You know exactly who you're talking to at which time and exactly what you want to be saying. That is handled really quite nicely. You then get into the actual story of it, which is some weird mystery conspiracy thing going on there with her apparently very wealthy sister, who I didn't know about. I'm afraid if that was mentioned in the Fraction stuff, I managed to totally forget about it. And here it slows down a little bit by necessity, though, I think. There's a lot of scene setting. There's a lot of exposition for people who, like myself, may not know everything that's going on with her background. And it feels a little bit like it's taking its sweet time. Then when it kind of kicks off a little bit, it goes back to that confusing thing. There is somebody who's gone missing, and Kate gets kind of tapped to go and investigate, her being a private investigator. But how it's all framed and laid out, you don't get a sense of it happening in any kind of like direct line. Before this, though, there's a great conversation where it's between Kate Bishop and her sister, both now and in the past, and it constantly jumps backwards and forwards through time, and it's brilliant and works really well. There's a lot that this comic does brilliantly. The stuff it doesn't do very well shouldn't stop me loving it, but it stops me loving it quite so much, I'm afraid. That's it for me today, though. I'm going to come back tomorrow with another review. Until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.